the government of Saskatchewan continues to be supportive of critical minerals production in the province. We have recently been the recipient of up to 4.27 million Canadian dollars in transferable royalty tax credits. And this is directly going towards our demonstration facility called Project Aurora, again, in partnership with Saltworks Technologies. Again, we've got that partnership in place. So Saltworks is bringing all of the design and build as well as the operation of the plant itself. And then we get to leverage the existing infrastructure that EMP has already invested in at our 4 of 23 location, which has a pad on it with our existing vertical test well, as well as that horizontal well that will be feeding processed brine into this facility. So again, we continue to see great engagement with the government of Saskatchewan and continued support here directly to Project Aurora and the continued advancements of that demo plant. So phase 1 of our pathway to commercial production, this again, we're calling Project Aurora. It specifically is our demonstration facility. And so what we're trying to prove here is really prove the flow sheet or prove out an end-to-end process, as well as prove out our hub and spoke based model that we see our commercial scale up occurring in. Again, we have done extensive piloting operations, but these are essentially unit operations where you're doing one process step and then you stop, and then you do another process step and then stop. And so we're taking this as a demonstration plant, sort of end-to-end flow. The spoke that we are developing here is the demonstration plant in Saskatchewan, with the conversion hub happening in Richmond, BC. And the reason why we're having 2 separate sites on location is really from a cost savings perspective, because Saltworks already has their lithium conversion hub set up and in operation out in Richmond, BC. So part of what we're building here in Saskatchewan today, we're going to be direct wellhead connected. We're bringing raw brine in from the subsurface through a pre-treatment step into DLE and then into membrane concentration. And so the output of our spoke demo plant is going to be a high purity lithium chloride that will then get shipped out to Richmond, BC, where they'll go through the following steps here, which again are just conventional water treatment type steps, and ultimately producing lithium chemicals on the tail end. And so this demo plant will allow us to understand the economics, prove the process, get more runtime on direct lithium extraction and understanding the ins and outs of that process, as well as understanding what chemical do we need to produce on the tail end and what kind of cost can we obtain through either offtake agreements or in the open market. And again, part of that is, do we need to go to battery grade, or can we produce a technical grade or an industrial grade? And then how does that impact the overall project CapEx requirements and the overall revenue of the business? So this demonstration plant, we've estimated total project cost at about $10 million to get this project built and operating for upwards of 12 to 18 months is the operation schedule. Again, happy to say at this point that with the contribution of the Sask government, we are funded to execute this program today, and again, moving forward without requirements of any capital raise to support this program. Phase 2, we're calling our stage 1 commercial plant. This is really centered around optimizing the engineering that Saltworks is able to execute for us. Again, the way that they establish these facilities, they have existing platforms for a lot of this equipment already. Again, being so in depth in the water treatment industry, they produce these skids through their facility today, just with some slight tweaks and modifications required for processing lithium versus wastewater. So the design of these facilities and the rollout or the scale up of it will be in 3,000 to 6,000 ton per year increments. The spokes representing a 1,500 ton per year facility. That's where, again, what we're producing here in Saskatchewan as the demo plant will be representative of, and then with a 6,000 ton per year conversion hub. And when we do hit commercial sized equipment, both the hub and spoke will be located here in the province of Saskatchewan. We're estimating 3,000 ton per year refinery today to be about 180 million US capex requirement. And really, again, Project Aurora will allow us to refine these capex estimates and understand our operating costs with more certainty coming out of that program.
As you said, these are bolt-on kind of little mini refineries. Is that a correct way to look at it? For simpleton?
Then the way that Saltworks describes it, it's adult Lego, essentially, is what you're doing. And again, the graphics here kind of showcase that, where they build all of their equipment inside of frames that are then shipped out to the site. And again, the advantage of this methodology of building is, again, Saltworks can provide the end-to-end flow sheet in-house, so they have all of the technical engineering capacity to design, build, assemble, commission, and deliver these plants ready to operate. Versus using multiple vendors and using an EPCM over top of the entire project to help bring this thing together. So from a scalability perspective, again, the smaller base facility, the smaller capex requirement really allows us to play with the business model and also control costs very well on the capital side. And again, the beauty of this facility and design, again, is all these skids are essentially pre-commissioned before they show up to site. So it's all under one common control system, already run with water or other fluids as required, and on site. It basically shortens the on-site construction and build time, allowing you to get into production as quickly as possible. The last phase we're calling phase 3, which is really repeat our stage 1 design and build. We'll have the ability to scale this to any desired output. We do have a PEA on our Viewfield property alone, which is only 14% of our land holdings. And that Viewfield PEA represents a project of 18,000 tons per year, average of 12,000 tons per year, so 18,000 peak tonnage. But that only represents, again, that's a 20-year project at 12,000 tons a year on 14% of our land base. So we have lots of room to scale. Also, when you include, the Mansur wells that we've had success in the southern part of that land package, there's lots of opportunity for scale up here. Just touch base quickly on our 2025 work plans. Again, I won't touch too much on stuff that's already happened, but we commit to things in our work plans and we execute on them. And currently today, right now, we're main focus today is on the building construction and getting things prepped before the winter weather hits here in Saskatchewan. But advancing that on schedule and on budget, and then we'll be prepping to start receiving equipment from Saltworks. They're currently in production of those skids for the demonstration plant at their facility, and we'll be expecting to start receiving some of that equipment in early 2026.